What up, guys? It's Brian Johnson at the Fit Table Podcast, bringing fitness, nutrition, and focus to the table. I have today Miss Kristina, Miss Kalisha, and Miss Vanessa. Today's focus, the focus is on back to nutrition and nutrition. We're talking about why diets fail. Why diets fail. And this could be anything, personal, anxiety related. The word diet itself, this could be anything. This could fall into anything. So you guys go ahead and hit me up with what have you come across in regards to either yourselves or your clients in regards to why diets have failed in the past or still.
I'll go. I brought notes.
I'm sure you did. Well, we know you did. We know that you did.
I brought notes. So I just went out and on the web and just searched why do diets fail, and I found a research study from UNC and I found one from PubMed, and both of them, regardless of all of the jargon and everything, it just basically says that a lot of weight loss programs and attempts are not holistic. We are not looking at the person as a whole. A lot of them are one-stop shops, meaning all women, all men, everybody get the same thing, regardless of what it looks like. You get the same macro counts, that's it. And so we have to look at it holistically and look at like what their physical fitness looks like, stressors, even social economics. Like, you tell somebody, I want you to go get risotto. One, they might not know what that is, or two, but they might not have the means to go and buy something like that. So even like making it personal to where you're having a conversation with the person that you're coaching to understand what their lifestyle looks like, what their family looks like, what their day-to-day looks like, what are their stressors, time management, like all of that. It all has to be included in that program. And I think there are a lot of programs out there that don't include that. When we go back to thinking about also like back in the day in the 70s, I would say, it was easier for women, I feel like, to lose weight because you just cut calories, right? And you just sweat.
Yeah.
And a lot of them didn't have the stressors that a lot of women now have, as far as working a full-time job, managing a household, being the default for everyone's needs. And I think, and even men, not to exclude, but I'm just saying, like, a lot of times people don't think about what are the outliers that are affecting your ability to be able to manage your weight. And so going back to it, it has to be holistic. It has to be the whole person. It has to be personable. It has to be specific to that person. You can't have a template and use that same template on everybody that you're coaching, because it's not going to work. It's not going to work.
Totally true. It's a lot of things against. It's a lot of things against it as well too, man. Like I saw a movie, and it was talking about a guy that went back in time. He's a time portal, went back in time. It's actually on Netflix right now. It's 11. It's the name of the movie. It's a number. It's a series, like 1126. The guy was able to go back in time to the time they were trying to figure out who killed JFK. And the guy was telling him certain things. The guy was telling him certain things about when you go back, like, just take advantage of the food. And he was like, take advantage of the food for what? So when he went back into the advantage of the food, he figured out, he's like, wow, this food tastes great. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it was untainted. No fillers, no glue products or anything. Like, there are so many different reasons why it is not impossible. It is extremely hard to make it work. You know what I'm saying? As far as the food loss and or weight loss and everything else with it, but so many different factors.
Yeah, the preservatives, how they affect our hormones, how they affect the insulin levels in your body, the cholesterol in your blood. Like, it's all encompassing, and it's just not easy. It's not a fast thing anymore.
Yeah,
you've got to put the work in.
Foods back in the 70s and what they process now are completely different.
Completely
There's
different.
hormones, just more stuff in there that our bodies just
we're not
supposed to ingest it, period.
No.
So
and of course that one biggest thing is that social media. Look, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking at Vanessa, and Vanessa's dropping all this weight, and I'm looking at her, and I'm not focusing on myself, and I'm not taking nothing in
Yeah.
consideration on what she is doing herself. Um, either
Mhm.
the correct way or not
Mhm.
correct way. 'Cause there's so many ways of doing it now, not correct, but they're not taking
Yeah.
none of that into consideration. They're looking at Vanessa, looking at Kalisha, looking at you, Kristina. Oh my God, why we're the same age, we're the same height. Why am I not dropping weight? Like, you know what I'm saying? Rather than
Yeah.
Right.
focusing on yourself
Yeah.
and trying to make it happen. It's so many, man. I cannot stand when a client comes to me and shows me a picture. It's not I can't stand it. It's I don't like the thinking, the thought process behind it. They see a
Behind
picture
it.
and they want to be that individual or they want to look like that individual and they're trying to base their body off of that. That is like the craziest thing to me. I understand it, but to me it's like one of the craziest things. Like I'm
And
trying to do my body for myself and not what you
Right.
about to say?
and even if you gave that person, whoever that was, and they gave you that picture, if you put them side by side and had them do everything exactly the same, nutrition,
Mhm.
fitness, whatever it is, they're still not going to look the same. You are
Nope.
not
Not
going to
at all.
Right.
look. You can put me and Kristina together, and the end result will not be the same.
Nope.
My
Not at all.
body is
Right.
not going to look like Kristina's. Hers
Not
is
at all.
not going to look like mine. And both are equally great. They're just not going to
Right.
look the same.
Yeah.
So
Well, yeah, and I think, genetics plays a part in that. And we're obviously the four of us on here are not cut from the same cloth. The person that
Exactly.
you want to mirror, like, you're not cut from the same cloth as them. I mean, me and my sister, we are cut from the exact same cloth. Her and I are complete opposites.
Yep.
I am thicker on the bottom. She's thicker on the top. We have the same parents,
Yep.
you
yep,
know,
that's true.
and yeah, I mean, she loves upper body and I despise it. I just say it. Um,
So I'm being
but
transparent.
Yep.
before
Exactly.
we
And
did
that's a
come on,
part of it too. Like accepting what you do and don't want to do. Like I
Yep.
think
yep,
that's the thing
exactly,
too. People are not honest with themselves truly about what you want to do. Like what
Yep.
is your
right,
ultimate goal?
right, exactly. Before I did come on here, I asked George, um, why his previous diets have failed. Um, because he used to be, when I first met him, he was definitely hefty. Um, but he loved his fried foods. His mom fried everything. When I tell you everything, she even fried the frozen French fries that you would buy. That's how she would cook
Wow.
them. She like, yes.
Try those.
Um, so,
Wow.
and he loves some hot pockets. But anyway, he
I
said
couldn't even
like
imagine George being hefty.
Me
Actually,
oh
either. That's
yeah,
what
well,
I was gonna
I
say.
couldn't
Like
even
I
imagine.
don't see it.
oh
I
yeah.
couldn't even imagine that. But keep going. Keep going.
He loved processed junk food. He loved hot pockets. He would come home late from work and eat hot pockets and all the things and
Wow.
um yeah. And until we got together, he's like, I have never eaten so many vegetables in my life until, well, if it was not peas or corn, we didn't have it. So I asked him, I told him what we were discussing today on the podcast, and I said, why do you think, when you tried to lose weight initially, like what made you not succeed? And his response was accountability. He's like, I didn't have to answer to anybody. I was a
Yep.
grown adult. No one was checking in with me. Nobody was like, hey, do you want to do this with me? Do you want to go take a walk with me? Did you want to meal prep today? There was no accountability. He's like, so I just continuously fell back into my old habits because that's what I was comfortable with. And I didn't have to answer to anybody.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that made total sense for me because I know a lot of people need to have that accountability person, that check-in person, even if it's just your friend.
Yes.
I know with my friends, we'll have a group chat like, hey, did you guys meal prep today? What are you all
Yeah.
eating? Um, we talk each other into going to the gym when we're like, yeah, I think I'm going to skip today. Why are you skipping? Like, we just, motivate each other to be the best person we can be. And is it an excuse, or is it really something that you need to go rest kind of thing? But yeah, when he said accountability, I totally can see that it is very difficult to eat, in a way when everyone else is eating the pizza. They picked up Chinese food, they stopped at, Chick-fil-A or wherever, and there you are eating your 4 ounces of lean beef and your vegetable and your carb. I just think it's very challenging
Yeah.
if those around you are eating things that you really enjoy and you have not seen results yet. And I think that's one of the things previously for me was my weight is a slow mover, and that's okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not going to drop 5 pounds in a week. It's just not happening for me
True.
and my body. So I think that was something that discouraged me to not continue on my path at, previous times, was that MF and scale.
Yep.
So the number
It's
one
one that
component around you, each one of you all would be. Do you think it is the accountability, like the number one component, like the main component is regards to that, or accountability really isn't something heavy with you guys? It's something else. But
I think it's it's a toss between a lot of stuff because it's accountability, it's the cost. It's cheaper to eat
And more
unhealthy,
convenient.
and and
Yeah.
it's convenience, it's the cost, it's the comparison, it's
The time.
all of it combined into one. Like, I wanted to lose 5 pounds yesterday, or you're
Yeah.
chasing that. It's like you're chasing that high. The first
Yeah.
2 weeks,
It's
because I
that
started a new
dopamine.
diet, I've dropped 5 pounds this first 2 weeks. Why can't I continuously drop 5 pounds? Well, that's because you did something your body's not used to. So you are
Exactly.
going to drop that 5 to 10 pounds in the first 2 weeks, but then the healthy side of it is that you're going to lose 1 to 2 each week after that. So
Yeah.
it's
Right.
kind of chasing that first high. It's like, why can't I continue doing that? Well, it's just not
Right.
healthy to do so. So it again is that those quick wins, and I want to do it. The biggest thing I heard wasn't really the diet itself. It's maintaining. How do I
Yeah.
continue maintaining this? It I've done this program for 6 weeks, or whatever program that you're doing. I've done fantastic. I've lost all these inches, all these pounds. Now, how do I maintain? Maintaining is one of the biggest things that I've heard from many different people just in
yeah,
conversations. It is extremely hard for them because some people
Yeah.
need that piece of paper that tells me what to eat. But then some
Yep.
people
Yeah.
also want that piece of paper, but they don't want to eat the same things over and
Yeah.
over
Yep.
and over again. So they don't really know how to maintain afterwards.
Yeah.
Right. And
I
I
just had
think
a
boredom
conversation
plays
with
a
a
part.
client. No, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna say, and I think, like, going back to the food and this is what you're eating, I think boredom really plays a part,
Mm-hmm.
and the actual food, like George said to me today, he's like, "What is diet food?" And I mean, he does his macros, and I'm like, I don't think the food that we eat is diet food. I mean, it's not like Jenny Craig or Slim
True.
Fast or, anything like that. I mean, it's real food that I would actually make for my family. I mean, we had taco bowls last week, and we just didn't have like the Tostitos and stuff with it. But I mean, my kids ate it. We just, skipped out on the Tostitos and made sure we measured all of our stuff. Like, it doesn't have
Yeah.
to be boring, but going back to what Christina said, you have to educate yourself. You have
You
to
do.
learn about the macros. You have to learn about reading the ingredients. And
You have to have
one
that
of the things that
foundation.
one of the things that I'm specifically doing for this first 6 weeks that I'm in boot camp is really paying attention to labels and trying to eat things like that are more natural and doesn't really have like a lot of processed stuff, and I'm just
Yeah.
really being mindful
True.
of what I'm putting into my body just to see like this 6 weeks that I'm really putting in the work with the gym and everything. Like I didn't weigh myself right before boot camp.
I didn't either.
I did not. So what I did was I weighed myself this Saturday after a week of eating my macros. Because I feel like that first week after you've eaten all this sugar and all this holiday food, you're gonna weigh yourself and then you're gonna drop 7 pounds because of all of the bloat and all
Yep.
of this and that. And I just, me personally, I want a true number. I want a true number.
Yeah.
Like, hey, let's get
Yes.
rid of that excess, whatever. I weighed
Yes.
myself Saturday, and I'm gonna see, where I stand at the end of boot camp with eating. I don't want to say organic because it's not organic. Just being more mindful of what is
Processed
actually in my
friendly
food.
foods.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of
Natural
like
stuff.
paleo
Yeah.
kind of
Yes.
thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was talking to a client, man. It's one of the biggest things too is like we've all pretty much mentioned was that number. Everybody does not drop weight the same. Vanessa just made mention of that. The body type of the one that asked the question, the client that asked the question to me, she is a not beefy. You know what I'm saying? She's a solid
She's
young
thick.
woman. Yes, but
Yes.
solid small. She's a solid small young woman. But she
Okay.
is looking at it, and I was trying to explain to her that her weight is not going to drop like a heavier individual's weight would drop.
Yeah.
Right.
So her dropping a pound and a half, 2 pounds a week, um, her mentality is still thinking on I should be dropping like 7, 10. You know what I'm saying? Which is ridiculous. But
And she's
it's
probably
Yeah.
you don't know,
solid because she's more muscular.
and
Yeah.
that's what I was explaining to her. Like you are doing strength training right now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Your lean body mass is increasing. When your lean body mass increases and your body fat drops, there is still weight there. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
don't
Mhm.
look at the scale weight and think that you're not doing something correctly when every other number is dropping. Your visceral fat,
Right.
your body fat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Your LBM is going up. Your LBM went from 109 to 119. That's weight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's muscle weight. So you're looking at the whole picture like, oh my God, I'm keeping all this weight on, Brian. So why am I not dropping fast enough? You're looking at the wrong number. You know
Because
what I'm
it's been
saying?
ingrained in your head to look at a
Look at
number
that
on the
freaking
scale.
number. Yes,
It's
man. It's
day one.
crazy. It's crazy. It is self-sabotage. So you're
Mhm.
It is.
sabotaging yourself based off of something you think that should be happening. And when it does not happen in that first few weeks, that
Yep.
first few days, it's a stop when you actually winning the whole time. I mean, literally winning.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
if your body fat is
Right.
dropping, your body fat is dropping 5 to 7% within your first week. You've dropped down 2 levels of visceral fat, which is the hardest freaking fat to get rid of in the body.
That's
You drop
awesome.
down two, you know what I'm saying, 2 levels, but
Yeah.
your weight is holding steady at a pound and a half in your week and a half, 2 weeks of the program. You are doing an amazing job. Like and
Yep.
you don't even realize you're doing an amazing job. It's that
Yeah.
it's the accountability to me, man. It's the accountability, and I would probably put the scale over top of that accountability. So my thought process in it is the scale, weight, and the accountability because you're
Yep.
not. What you understand is like, wow, I've been chasing the wrong freaking number all these years,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
self-sabotaging what I've been doing. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
yes, what you
Yep.
about to say? You about to say something, Kalisha, Vanessa?
I think going back to accountability, I think it does help. Like I have accountable partners, but I think not even like extreme as texting somebody. I think and the ladies can back me on this, like just showing up to boot camp and just
Mhm.
seeing somebody that you saw on Monday and just the hey is you know what I
Yep.
mean? It's enough. Or being able to work with somebody in a group in boot camp that you haven't worked with before and just
Mhm.
having that conversation in that little quad that we have is accountability because I think people start to look for those faces because we don't
Yep.
Yeah.
do a whole lot of talking in boot camp. Like I can't tell you half of the women's names in boot camp, but I know that I see them on a regular and we
Yep.
work out on
Yes.
the regular and we applaud each other and I mean, we do ask questions if we don't know how to do an exercise or something, but I think that's an accountability piece that some people don't even realize is an accountability piece. Like
Yep.
you look forward
Right.
to seeing these people.
You do.
Yeah.
And I
I
think the
agree.
other thing is just realistic expectations. Like you can't expect to go to boot camp 5 days a week if you've never done boot camp before. You can't
Yes.
expect, you know what I mean? For like, you can't expect, okay, for this 6 weeks, I'm going to go to boot camp 5 days a week. I'm going to take spin on Saturday and I'm going to walk on Sunday. Like, you've got to give your body some rest. You have to have realistic expectations. And I
Yes.
think
Yeah.
for me, this 6 weeks, I had to tail it back and just say, okay, like spinning twice a week is enough for my body. That's
Right.
the most that my body can handle. Even if I want to do more, I know that I can't. So
Yep.
just like mapping my week out to know, okay, if I'm teaching on Tuesday and Saturday, that's it for me. I won't be doing spin. Even though I
Yep.
want to go to Kristina's class on Wednesday, I know that my body cannot handle that extra day. I think some
Right.
people just don't like listen to your body. Like
Yes.
I saw something, it was what is her? It's the comedian, Leslie Jones, and she was on a
Oh yeah.
podcast and she was like, a lot of people don't even you can't even have a conversation with yourself. Like you can't even look in the mirror and just look at yourself without turning your head and just having a conversation and just saying, I like you. Like we can
Yep.
say that to everybody else, but a lot of people can't say that to themselves. And if you
Yep.
can't even like have a conversation with yourself, how can you map out things that you want to do? You can't even talk to you.
True.
You know what I mean? Like you
Right.
can't hold yourself accountable if you don't even have a conversation with yourself like this is what we want to do. This is how we are going to do it, and being realistic in the fact that okay, last 6 weeks I tried to do boot camp 4 days a week and that didn't work. Not that it's a failure, but this 6 weeks I'm going to only do 3. Right?
Yeah.
Last 6 weeks I couldn't do 4. I'm not gonna try to do 4 this week because that didn't work for me. This 6 weeks I'm gonna do 3, and then when I can do 3, let's try 4 again. Like
True.
people
Right.
you just give up. A lot of people just
Right.
give up. And like you said, Ryan, that with your client, the one that was like, I feel like I'm not losing the amount of weight that I should. They get discouraged. They're not understanding the information that's being given to them, not processing it, not understanding it. And then you stop. And then you go back to eating the old way. And then what do you have to do? Start all over again.
Yep.
I'm preaching to myself right now.
Hey,
Y'all here, but
hey,
And that's okay. That's
you're
good
Yeah.
though.
Well, and
exactly.
that's
There's
why
nothing
I
wrong with
really
that.
and that's why I really like to go back to my weight.
yeah,
What again, 155 4 years ago to 155 now. I'm a whole different person
different.
as far as my
hmm
body composition is
Yeah.
concerned. You know, and if I would have kept on focusing on that weight, and I'm a little less than 155. Again, that 2 to 3 pound difference from when I started 4 years ago to now, it is my body is completely different. I feel completely different. But to go back to piggyback off your resting part, resting doesn't mean I work arms on Tuesday, I rest, and I work arms again on Friday. Resting literally
Right.
means to take a break, to take a step back. Make sure you're
Mhm.
getting the proper sleep because sleep is so important when you're wanting to build muscle. That's where your
Yes.
muscles start to build. You have to
Yep.
have all that plays a role in just it's not just your eating, it's the how you're moving your body, it's how much rest that
It's
you're getting.
holistic.
Yeah, again, it goes back to that. So setting
Christina,
yourself up. Good.
Christina, when was that aha moment when you saw your weight what it used to be in regards to the 155 and now being at that same weight? Like when was that? It was
So
like, wow.
I've never been a person that stepped on the scale on a regular basis. I had one in my
Got it.
bathroom, but I didn't. That was one thing I never really focused on. For me, it was having a conversation with Ray. Is you know, it, I felt like I felt like when I was competing, I needed to be a certain weight when I got on scale. Well, I mean on stage. So that's when I got focused on that scale. Having a conversation with him later was different to say, well, he had asked me how much I weighed. I told him, and he was like, okay, that's not bad. And I was like, yeah, I feel like I need to be this weight before I get on stage, because this is what was ingrained in my head when I first kind of started. And he was like, no, it's really about how you look when you get on that stage. Yes, you want to look dry. Yes, you want to look lean. But it really, I went to a posing clinic, and they did that's when the first time I ever did a full body scan. And at the time I was like 100 and I was 100 and I think I was in between shows, so I had gained some weight back. So maybe 150, 145, something like that. But I was 125 pounds of lean muscle. So at that point, it was like, oh, wow. Like, we're so focused on this weight number, not realizing that 125, that means 25 pounds of it is probably just fat, like, or whatever else is remaining.
And organs, yes.
And organs.
It's like, and that was my aha moment, is actually being able to see, okay, here's your weight, but this is out of that weight, this is how much is lean muscle mass.
Yeah.
And that for me, and then when you got the InBody scan thing, and I'm still maintaining around that, which is great. But
Yeah.
that really was kind of the moment for me, is okay, I'm focused on the fact that I jumped on stage, and I probably weighed the lowest. I mean, I pretty much was the size of my daughter. And if y'all know my daughter, she's tiny.
Yeah.
Right.
And she's like, oh my God, Mom, we're the same size. And I think I was like 130, 128 pounds for me doing my first shows. And that's low. I feel like that was a healthy low. And being the weight that I am today, I'm happy. I like the way that I look. If I gain 5 pounds here, or I go over here, I'm constantly, as women, our weight goes up and down, depending on the day, depending on what you're going through. But yeah, that was is really seeing out of that 150 pounds, when you got on this scale, 125 was lean muscle mass. And I was like, I'm doing something right.
Yeah.
Yes, most certainly. Most certainly. Most certainly.
But
What
again,
about you guys? When was
I'm
that
still
weight not
looking
an
at that
issue
weight.
anymore?
Say that again.
Say that again.
Kalisha, Vanessa, when was that weight really not a issue anymore? A determining factor, like, oh my God, I'm up 3.5 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Not taking anything else into consideration with what you were doing, adding muscle and everything else and dropping body fat.
I
Or
would
have you
say
always
for
been
me,
not a scale person?
yeah, I would say for me, I used to really focus on scale a lot, doing Weight Watchers and getting weighed in weekly and whatnot. But when I was working with Christy Irby and going through treatments and realizing that, I would give her my numbers and everything, that on my treatment weeks, I didn't realize this until after the fact, the first few times that I would weigh in on Fridays with her, but I would get treatments on Thursday. And Kalisha knows from being at the hospital, my body was retaining
The fluid.
so much fluid from everything that they pump in you
Yeah.
that I was not getting an accurate read. So once I saw that, I had said to her, she's like, so weird, Vanessa, the weeks you give treatment, you're up in weight. And we just, like, it didn't sink in at first. She said, I want you to weigh the morning before you have treatment. I said, okay. So then all of a sudden it started to click. And she's like, it never occurred to me that they're pumping you with so much stuff.
Yeah.
And that made me think, like, all these other things in your life are playing a factor in that number. Like, that's when it hit me, when I was 40 years old, finally,
Yeah.
that the smallest things, and not saying cancer and chemo is small, because it definitely is not, but
True.
because you had too much sodium, because you had, you ate something maybe that, your body didn't really digest well, or just just anything like that. You're on your menstrual cycle, you're,
Yeah.
you know, actually this past week, I weighed myself on Friday morning because that's usually when I weigh to get my true number. And I was like, okay, but then I weighed myself again on Saturday because of what we did on Thursday. I was like, oh, and the number was lower. So that just shows you how fluctuating that scale can be, and to not
Yep.
just not be so focused on it because you don't know what is attributing to that number. If you're doing everything right, your macros are in
Yeah.
check, you're working out, you're getting adequate sleep and all those things, and that scale is going up and then down and then up and down, that's normal. That's
Yep.
so
That is
Totally
normal.
normal.
absolutely
Yes,
normal.
totally
I mean,
normal.
it depends on your workout too. If you do lower body
Yes.
and you do heavy weights for lower body, you
Yep.
are probably going to be 2
That
pounds
scale is
heavier
going
than
up.
it's
Yes,
going
it
up.
is going
It
up.
It's
just
going
is
up.
what it is. I
Yeah.
mean,
And I think
Yeah,
that the education is so important
it is. Yeah.
for, for anyone that's stepping on a scale to avoid that discouragement. Like,
yep.
but you have to
Yes.
make sure all your other ducks are in a row. If you're going and eating Chick-fil-A every night and stopping at Andy's and getting your custard and
Yep.
all that stuff, and you're like, dang, the scale's up, I've done everything right. No, you haven't. You
No,
have to
you
be
Right.
haven't.
honest
You
with
can't
yourself.
5 days a week.
Or you're
Like,
Like,
doing the
you have to be
nutrition
honest with
plans.
yourself.
yeah.
Right.
And sometimes you have to call yourself out. Like, yeah,
Yes.
I shouldn't have had a whole sleeve of Oreos. I've been guilty of that. I'm like, dang, I ate
Yep.
a whole sleeve of Oreos today. Why?
Yep.
And I kind of like, I kind of look back at myself and like, I don't beat myself up about it, but I'm like, you need to reel this in, Vanessa.
Yeah.
Like, you have a
Yeah.
goal, you slipped up, just get back on track.
And slip
Yeah.
ups are
You know?
okay as long as you get
Yeah,
back on track. Period.
right.
Yep.
But don't be
Yeah.
You know,
trying
I
to laugh
think
when you step on that scale.
No. No.
no,
When we
it's
talking
not.
others
trash,
are
you know
not
what you
going to
did.
lie. So tell me what you've been doing.
That's
Yes. You know exactly
I
what you've
think
been doing.
for me, it was just realizing that stress has a big impact on how your body just is able
Mhm.
to do things. And I have a lot of stress in my life. Just like, I mean, not a horrible stress, but just stress of like my older son and day in and day out, just making sure that he's good. And
True.
like something as small as like sitting here and thinking, oh God, I mean, he has a seizure disorder. So like at any moment, you know what I mean? Like things like that.
right.
So like when people say you've got to manage your stress, I'm one of those people who will never be able to do that, like to an extent. And so
Right.
just
Mhm.
accepting that and just understanding that that will always have an impact on weight management for me. I don't think I look at the scale like I did before. Like, of course, yes, I want muscle. And like one day I was working out, Kristina was like, "Oh, I see it," and I was like, "Okay, yeah, she's there. There's a layer, but she's
It's
there.
there.
I can feel her." But like, yeah, just accepting the fact that it will look different for me. It will always look different for me, but being okay with that. But as long as I can go and do boot camp and I can teach my classes and I can go out to our home gym and work out with my husband. And those are the things that I gauge off of, and just
Mhm.
making sure that we're fueling our bodies and like that my body is craving the good stuff. I mean,
Right.
I'm a woman and there's hormonal things, and occasionally I
Mhm.
will crave the craziest things, but um I think for me, like the change in how food tastes now, like the Chick-fil-A's and the Taco Bells and the McDonald's, it just doesn't taste the same to me. I don't know if that's
Yeah.
anybody else, but I feel like that
No,
there's
you're
still
right.
something going on. It just is not good. And every time you get it, every time we get it as a family, we're like, why do we keep wasting our money? You know what I mean? Like just eat
Mhm.
it home. But like last week I was craving broccoli and sweet potato and salmon. That's what I wanted. And a salad, you know what I mean? Like things like that. So as long as my body is craving those things, and just listening to my body, that's what I gauge it off of. I don't even know. I know about where I am weight wise, but I haven't weighed myself in probably 2 weeks and don't plan to.
Yeah.
Got it.
Right.
And what is your
Right.
gauge on doing right or wrong, well, not right or wrong, progress, regress without using the scale.
My clothes.
Got it.
My
Got it.
How you
clothes.
Your
feel,
energy.
your energy,
Yeah.
How
how
you
you
feel.
My
feel.
clothes, my energy, how I feel, listening to my body when I'm tired. Like I said, I taught, did boot camp, taught twice on Tuesday, once on Wednesday, did boot camp, and then
Yeah, I don't know how you do
did
that.
boot camp on Thursday. And by Thursday night, my body was like, girl,
You know how you do that.
no, sit
Nope.
down. Sit
Yep.
down.
Mm-mm.
And
Yeah.
individuals
And
don't.
listen,
The boot camp was not designed or created to do 5 days a week. It was not
Yeah.
at all. It was due as an option. So
Yes.
Right.
you want a mix of what you're doing anyway. So boot camp
Yeah.
is a cardio based strength exercise, plain and simple.
Yeah.
Cardio based heavy. That's why a lot of the individuals going on stage competing and stuff can't continue doing that because it's
Yeah.
too much cardio. You're actually burning too
Yes.
much
Right.
takes
muscle.
away.
Takes away from your muscle.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you should be doing a mix of workout anyway, whether it be with a
Yeah.
personal trainer, whether it be on your own. You should be doing boot camp and you should be doing strength training.
Yeah.
That's that cardio piece for the activity. You know what I'm saying? And the strength training, of course, for the strength. I've
Yeah.
always said I am not trying to be that big dude walking around that can't turn around and scratch his own back. Like I want to be functional muscle. I'm able to get
Yeah.
out there,
Right.
run, push 300 pounds on the bench press,
Yeah.
run, burpees,
Bend
or whatever
over.
the case.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes. Um,
Yeah.
a lot of people think that, man. Like somebody you mentioned it. They get discouraged because, oh my God, I didn't make all 5 days. It was not designed for you to do all 5. Now, do some individuals do all 5? They do,
Yeah.
and they'll get
Yeah.
they'll get done with boot camp and they'll get on the treadmill or they'll do strength training or what have you the same
Yeah.
day.
I
But
would be
it was not.
curious to know. I would be curious to know if those women that are doing boot camp 5 days a week, if they're also working out on the weekends.
I think there's
I
a
Because
know
combination.
I can
few.
see that there's one particular lady who does 5 days a week, and she's in there doing lunch classes as well.
Yeah.
I was about to say. I know a few that actually do 5 days a week and then do like long runs on the weekend. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's everybody built different, man. You got different
Everybody
levels
is
yeah.
of
different.
Yep.
Yeah.
everybody, man. And it's you got different levels, man. You got different freaking levels of people, and
Yeah.
it's
I had a
um
conversation with one that has been in the group. Like I haven't been in the boot camp group as long as like the old building, but the new building I've been with that group where we were 3 days a week. And we had the conversation the other day and she was like, 5 days a week boot camp is just too much for me. She said, so I'm going back to 3 days a week. I'm going to do spin on Tuesday. I'm going to
yes,
rest on
yes,
Thursday and I'll do spin on Saturday. And
Yep.
then that'll be my week. And she was like, I did try it, but it's not functional for me. Like this is
true,
what works for me. So I'm going back to basics. I'm going back to what
Right.
works and has worked. And I was like, that's
Yep.
what it's about. Like you gotta listen to your body and
got
your
to.
body will
You got
tell
to.
you exactly what will work for you. And everybody's workout split is not going to be the same.
Nope.
Not at all.
And
It's
not at
all about
all.
having options, man. It's about having options, and those
Yep.
options are on the table for that reason.
Yeah.
That's why I have the boot camp, and I have you sign up for the boot camp, you have the unlimited classes, you got full access to the
Yes.
gym. It's a no fail type situation. So if you can
You
make it,
got multiple
perfect.
options.
If you
Yep.
can't, you got, like you just mentioned, you got other options that you can handle. Plain
Yep.
and
It
simple.
goes
Yeah.
back to
Right.
what
And
we've been
I feel
saying.
like
It's
there's
just
so
the
many
place.
awesome options at the gym. You know, whether you're doing the boot camp or you're going to work the machines, or I mean, we have every single class under the sun,
Under
and
the sun, like for
you
real.
don't have to. I do
Literally.
boot camp at least 3 days a week. The days that I teach, my body is like, you cannot do boot camp and
No.
do the workout at your
True,
own class that you're
true.
instructing. You know, but I definitely do my walking and whatnot, and that's what really I feel like working out makes me want to stay more on track with my food. So that's one thing that helps me be a little bit more successful with, you know, staying on track and stuff. When I'm working out, it makes me want to eat like really good, wholesome food. I
Yes.
don't want that. I'm not
Yes.
reaching for that greasy bacon cheeseburger,
Yeah.
after I just had a workout. Like, I want to go home and fuel my body, which is why we meal prep. George and I just meal prepped all morning. I have all my food cooked for the week. He has all his cooked for the week. So we don't have to think about it. I'm telling you,
True.
take the 2 to 3 hours on a Sunday. It really just changes your mindset. One, you've already spent all this money on food now, and you don't want to buy something else because groceries are so expensive to begin with. But all we have to do is pop it in the microwave or
Yep.
do what Kristina does. Do your meal prep for a few days and then meal prep the rest of the week too, if that works better for you. But my lunches are packed. Like, everything is packed.
Yep. So you said you all do your Vanessa, you do your meal prepping on Sundays. Like you said,
Sundays,
man, it sets your week up for success totally going forward.
Mm-hmm.
I
Everything.
plan
You
my
already know what's
workout
going on. Yep.
and my
Yep.
food.
Yes.
Close out
Like
and your
last
clothes.
week I'll start thinking about, like, oh, hey, what am I going to eat? Well, like, what do I feel like? And just start thinking about it. But Sundays, we shop in the morning, we come home, we'll prep. I'll wait for the boot camp list to be posted so I can kind of work on the other workouts that I'm going to schedule for the week and what I'm going to teach at my class, because I
Yeah.
tried to line up what I'm teaching on Tuesdays, depending on, I'm not going to do legs on Tuesday if we do legs on Monday at boot camp. Like,
Got it.
I try
Yes.
to,
Yes.
I don't want to die up there.
Didn't quite work out. Yes, because you are an active instructor. You actually
Yeah.
do your workouts with it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I
Actually,
sweat
you
right
all
along
active.
with the ladies,
Each one of
curse
you all active
myself out.
instructors.
Yeah. We are.
Yes.
Yep. Spin. Yep. Oh yeah, y'all are killing it. That's what I'm talking about.
That's
wait.
why when you're like, you teach spin, you don't take that thing 3 times a week.
No, not at all. And it makes sense. And
You're
I'm
teaching
sort of been thinking
twice a
about it
week.
now. Like,
You are literally taking that class with them, just
Yeah.
like
Right.
Vanessa and Kalisha and her
yes,
dance classes. You're doing it with them.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
You're not
yes.
just walking around, just teaching
No.
a strength training class and just walking around making sure everything, is correct
True.
and stuff like that. So
Back to
yeah.
that burnout piece we were talking about. What's her name? Tamara Casey. Yeah, she would do fabulous job on the program though. Extremely fabulous job. But she did cardio prior to boot camp, would get done with boot camp and do cardio again. So she was typically going up in there every time doing like 30 minutes of cardio, do boot camp, and then 30 more minutes of cardio. Looking at her
Dang.
numbers, looking at her numbers, man, and her LBM was dropping. And she was trying to figure out why her LBM was dropping. I said, you're doing too much freaking cardio. Like you're doing too much
If you do
cardio.
cardio, it should always be after a workout, not before it.
Yes. Not before.
But
Yeah,
And
I
especially
read
not
that
before
article.
now.
Yeah.
Yes.
There was an
yes.
article recently about that you're not doing your body any favors if you're doing cardio before you do strength training. It needs to be
Correct.
after.
That is correct.
For so many different, reasons, but one, it's really beneficial to your body. Like, after you've just done all this strength training, lower your heart rate, take a nice leisurely walk, don't do anything intense.
True. Yes.
The muscles and everything need to recover, and
Yes.
just really pay attention to how your body feels during all of your workouts.
Yes.
But definitely afterwards, and making sure you're taking the adequate time to recover from, how intense your workout is.
It's like it's like competition. Competition, you don't see nobody in competition out jogging nowhere. Like they're doing a 45 minute leisurely walk on the treadmill. That's
Right.
it. That's
An
all you're
incline
doing.
walk.
Yeah.
Incline, that's
You
all
really
you're doing.
should
Like you're
be
not out there
doing no more
jogging.
than 45 minutes. 45 minutes is
Not
the
at all.
max for
Yes.
cardio. Whether you do it on a treadmill, whether you do it on a stair climber, elliptical, you would have, do some brisk walking outside like that, just because you're in a fat burning state doesn't mean you're exactly burning fat.
Yeah.
You
That's
burn
true.
fat
Right.
through calorie deficits.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Right.
What
Yep.
calorie
Right.
deficit means is I intake 1,600 calories, but I'm burning 2,000.
Exactly.
Yes.
So you
Right.
got a
There's a difference.
400
Yeah.
calorie
You have
deficit. That's what a
400 calorie
deficit
deficit.
means.
Yes.
Because I mean,
Yes.
a lot of these people don't really know, and you would be surprised how, I won't say, I can't use uneducated, but unknowing a lot of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They think, well, my watch says I'm in fat burning stage. Well, you might be, but you might not really be burning fat. You're
Yeah.
still really burning your calories. So
Right.
it goes back to what we've been preaching podcast after podcast. Read everything.
Mm-hmm.
You are given the tools through
Yeah.
this podcast, through whatever
Mhm.
nutritional program you're going through your personal trainer. You're given tools to use. So take that and move forward, and that will help you
Mhm.
with the maintaining portion of it all.
Yeah. And ask questions. You know,
Yeah.
if you're
Yes.
unsure about
Always ask
something,
questions.
I mean, we hit Brian up all the time, or I'll, text Christy Irby and be like, hey, something is not blah blah blah, or I have a question about this. And I
Mhm.
mean, reach out. They're not
Ask
going to turn you
all the
away.
questions.
Just ask the question
Ask
so
the
you
question.
can be
Yep.
successful in reaching your goal,
Yeah.
because
Yes.
it could be the simplest thing that you're not doing or you're doing too much of that's
Mhm.
preventing
Yep.
you from hitting those markers that you want to hit.
And there's no dumb questions. The only dumb question
Exactly.
is the question you don't
That
ask.
wasn't
Right.
asked. Yep.
And I'll say this, like I tell people this at work when they'll email me and be like, I've got a dumb question or whatever. And I always say, like, one, I'm approachable, even though my face sometimes may not look that way. And two, like, regardless of what your question is, if I don't know it, like this
We'll
circle
find out
knows
for
that
you.
I will find it out. I don't mind looking up something or
Right.
figuring something out and taking some notes. I don't mind.
Yep.
But also, if I don't know, I know who probably does. I don't mind phoning a friend to get an answer for you
Right.
either. I'll phone a
True.
friend in a minute.
True. That's true.
But
That's true.
I
Yeah.
honestly think, like, one of the things that people need to realize when they are trying to start this calorie deficit, path or workout path is really, like, think about what you want to do, what your goals are,
Mhm.
what you want to, succeed at, and don't try to take it all on at once.
Bite size.
Ease into it.
Make
First,
smaller goals to reach the bigger
yes,
one.
exactly. Like, start off with just maybe, prepping your breakfast and doing that, and then add on your lunch. And then, depending on your lifestyle, add in an additional workout, try a new class.
Yeah.
But don't try and do it all at once. Hit to the gym, 6 days a week. You're, going to drink all this water and eat all this healthy food. And then you're just like, I'm so done and tired with all this. I don't even want to do it next week.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
And
And
another
keep in
thing that I
mind that this is a journey.
yes,
It's not a freaking race, man. It is a freaking journey. Like
it is.
It's
plain and simple.
lifestyle
And
change.
it
Everybody
should turn
needs is
into
a
a
tweak.
lifestyle. It should turn into a
Yeah.
lifestyle.
Yeah.
The ultimate goal is for it to be a lifestyle. And also, I think people get so caught up. I know we say this over and over again, but you try to base your journey off of someone else's, and that is not going to work for you because
True.
eventually you're not going to be able probably not going to be able to keep up with the other person is doing.
True.
Yep.
So you've got to like just sit with it. Like if this is the beginning of your journey, if January is the beginning of whatever this is going to look like for you, give yourself 3 months to figure it out.
Yep.
Give yourself 3 months to just try new things, map it out, take notes, get you a notebook, write stuff down. Like today I
Mhm.
did this, I enjoyed it. I want to do that again. Today I did this, I
Yeah.
did not like it. That's not for me. And then in 3 months, go back to those things you didn't like and say, okay, let me try this again now that I'm in a different space. And do I truly not like it or was it just hard? And if it was hard,
True.
try it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
give yourself grace. I'm trying to do that.
Yes.
Give yourself grace and then just try to figure out what works for you. Only
Yep.
you,
Mhm.
not you and your
Yep.
bestie, not you and your husband. Figure out what works for you
Yep.
and then that's what
Mhm.
you'll have. You just follow that.
Yep.
And I think, keeping your goals personal, you don't need to
Yeah.
share it with everybody. You
Nope.
don't need
God,
to, post it on Facebook or Instagram saying that you're gonna go do all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. I mean, post your workouts. I think that's awesome. I think you're inspiring people every time that you post a workout.
Hmm.
yes.
But you don't need to say that in 2026, I want to lose 50 pounds. I'm doing this because it I feel like it kind of sets you up for failure in a weird way. Like,
Mm-hmm.
keep your goals private, keep all that hard work, just keep doing it and doing it and doing it. And you don't owe it
Yes.
to anybody but yourself.
Yep.
And like, just just keep going, because when you broadcast it, I feel like people's opinions come in.
Hmm.
Yes.
People are saying like, "Oh, are you really going to do that?" They discourage you, whether
Yep.
intentionally doing it or not. Um, it's a really sad thing, but there are a lot of people in this world that don't want to see others succeed because of
Yeah.
their own
True.
internal issues or whatever. But
Yes.
I mean, it's fine to say, "Hey, I'm going, I've been in the gym every day this week. I think that's awesome." Or, "Hey, I got all my water in," or, "I meal prep today." But keep that bigger goal, like, within your four walls. Like, keep it in your house. Keep it to,
Yeah.
Yep.
those people in there, because you don't want that outside noise discouraging you
Yeah.
from
Yep.
Not
reaching
at all.
those goals. Keep it,
Not at all.
keep it tight-lipped, as my dad used to say. Like, you got this until you reach that goal. Be like, I've been working so hard and I lost that 50 pounds,
Hmm.
in a
Look what
year
I
or a year
did.
and a half, or, and
Yep.
celebrate it, broadcast it, post it everywhere possible if you want
Yep.
to,
Yep.
Yep.
After the
and
fact.
then,
Yes.
yeah,
Yep.
after the fact. Yeah, once
Yes.
you've reached it, and be like, this is
Yes.
what I did to get here,
Yeah.
and I think that that plays a huge part in diets failing. Um, you know, just not being successful. I think once you start telling people what you're going to do instead of just doing it, I think that that really impacts.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yep. Another beautiful one, ladies. Another nice one. This is the afternoon, not the morning. I'm not gonna mess this
Get
one
it?
up.
Get it right. I feel like before you end, from the beginning, whoever this guy is behind Kristina, we need to name him or her, because he has been side eyeing us the whole time. I just feel like, like I feel like,
That's
look
wonderful.
at him. Like he needs a name. He's like the
So
fifth
my
member.
son got that for me for Christmas because it reminded him of me. That's
He's
my
He's
like
like the
over your
grumpy
shoulder,
cats
just
of
kind of
bunnies.
looking
this
like,
is
what you
my
got to say?
spirit animal.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
The fact that he
Ladies,
makes
it has
this
been
face is
nice.
crazy.
But
Twinsies.
we thank all you guys for coming out today. Fit Table Podcast, bringing fitness, focus, and nutrition to the table. Ladies, we will see you guys later. Guys, we'll talk to you later. Have a great one.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.